Usman versus Woodley at welterweight at UFC 235. Interesting. Very interesting, I must say. I didn't see that coming whatsoever. Okay, I did not see that coming. There's a lot of factors that go into this. I said before, I give it to Woodley because you have to give it to Woodley. If you're looking at facts and the recent performances and the resumes of both of them, you got to give the fight odds to Woodley, you know? Usman's a big cunt. Usman 84 kg is his handle. You know, that's his name. That's his insignia on Twitter and shit like that. Usman 84 kg. 84 kg is 185 pounds. He's a big guy. He's a really big guy for welterweight. People think Darren Till's big. Usman's fucking bigger by far. I don't know how he makes the weight, but he does. So respect to him. Wrestlers seem to be able to cut so much weight. And he made Woodley look small in there. Really small. So yeah, wild stuff. Usman completely dominated him start to finish. Completely dominated him. I don't think Woodley won a second of that fight. And I think at one point in the fourth round at the end, Woodley could have got knocked out. Usman was just teeing off on him. Woodley had no gas left in his arms. I said this before, and I've commented it before, and I got a few hundred likes because, you know, I'm famous and shit. I commented on a UFC Embedded episode, and I said to myself, and I said in the comment, I said, Usman and Colby are the styles that need to beat Woodley. Guys that set their own pace, okay? And listen to what I mean by that. People say Woodley doesn't have gas tank issues. He does. But he always sets his own pace. So he only uses the energy when he decides to, you know? Because Darren Till, counter-striker. Again, other than Donald Cerrone, he's a counter-striker. He's waiting for you to wing a big shot so he can land after you. That's Darren Till's go-to. Stephen Wonderboy Thompson, counter-striker. He's patient, he waits, so no action occurs unless Woodley wants it to. So that's how he can control his gas tank in that fight. Damian Maia, just a bad wrestler that's trying to get Woodley to the floor. Woodley's seen it all before, you know, just stops the takedown for 5 rounds. But Usman gets in your face, walks you down. Woodley he's so small compared to Usman, it was weird. It was weird seeing it. Like, Usman's so much bigger than him. He's a big fucking cunt. And Usman just completely dominated him start to finish. Took him down, beat him up against a clinch, easily got the takedowns, can we say that? Easily. Woodley said he didn't have any injuries, and honestly, I believe him. I don't think there was anything wrong with Woodley going into this fight, because Woodley has excuses for winning. So imagine if he lost and he had an excuse. I'm sure he would bring it up. But he didn't. He didn't bring up anything. He said he was fine coming into the camp. And I tell you this, guys, I think Usman might rule that division, but there's one guy that I think would do very well against Usman that matches his style of smothering pace and pressure. Colby Covington. Crazy as it sounds, I think if Colby showed up against Woodley there, I'd like Colby's chances. I think if Colby faced Woodley now, Colby would be the favourite. I really do. I think Colby brings exactly the same style as Usman, but a bit less powerful and a bit more. He puts the pace on a bit more, whereas Usman sort of uses his strength a lot more, you know. And Usman just took down Woodley with ease, laid on him, put his hand over his mouth so he couldn't breathe. Brutal, punching him to the body, staying active on the floor. A lot of people were booing during the fight. Get out of the fucking arena, you casuals. He's doing what he needs to do to win the fight. He's taking Woodley down. That's enough to make a cheer, in my opinion. You guys should be cheering just for him taking Woodley down. In the fourth round, it looked like he was about to knock Woodley out because Woodley was just gassed after the second round. Here's what I don't understand. I said this coming up to it. I said it on the live stream as well, guys. People were talking, the narrative going into this fight is this is the time for Woodley to solidify himself as the greatest welterweight of all time. Can we calm the fuck down, please? I said this on my live stream. Calm the fuck down. Why are we so quick to forget the past? Joe Rogan said it in the preview that he did. This is Woodley's chance to solidify himself as the greatest welterweight of all time. Woodley's defended his belt, if he won this one, 5 times. Okay, GSP defended it 9 times in a row, and one of Woodley's was a draw, so I don't even count that. GSP defended it 9 times in a row, he defended it before then, and the people that he lost to, he beat afterwards. Okay, and he also went up a weight class and beat Bisping. If that wasn't enough. Like, I don't know how they were going to consider Woodley greatest of all time for 5 title defenses. And a lot of them were very close decisions. 2 of them, very close decisions. I mean, someone gave Wonderboy the draw in the second fight as well. So, you know, it wasn't impressive. Like, Woodley got beat, okay? And people were going to... Can I just say, ha ha ha. Fucking all of a sudden all the Woodley fans came out. I tell you, coming up to this fight, there were so many Woodley fans. I've never seen it before. All of a sudden, everyone's jumping on the hype train. Jumping on the bandwagon because, oh wait, he's going to win all these fights. Okay. You know, that was it. What they said was, oh, Woodley's going to win the fights? Okay. I'll be a fan of him then. Because that's what people are, some MMA fans. Obviously, no one who watches my videos because you guys are geniuses, of course. But MMA fans in general, a lot of them are glory hunters. Jones fans in general, you know? A lot of them, as soon as some guy's winning in a row, they're like, okay, that's the guy. He's the best. All of a sudden, there's all these Woodley fans. And everyone hates Usman. And now, Usman has won. All of a sudden, there's loads of Usman fans. You know? Colby versus Usman's next. I can't wait to see that fight. I honestly can't wait. That's going to be a great fight, guys. Can we just appreciate that? Colby versus Usman. Who wins that? I give the odds to Usman, but Colby can match that pressure and pace all day long. And Colby is fluent on his feet as well. Little pitter-patter strikes. Usman sort of loads up a little bit. Colby's got an iron chin. You can't let your hatred for Colby blind you from the skill of a fighter that he is. Usman dominated RDA. Colby dominated RDA. You know? I like Colby's chances versus Woodley. I doubt they do that. I think they're going to give Colby to Usman now. Definitely. Especially because Usman called him out. So, yeah. Colby was cage side the whole time. Hilarious. Like, you can just see him in the crowd. I didn't know. Is that Colby? Oh, yes, it is. He's got sunglasses and a Make America Great Again hat on. Definitely Colby. You know? Because I was watching on a illegal stream. So, yeah. It was pretty blurry at times, especially in the background. But you can easily spot Colby in a crowd of people just because of the hat that he wears. So, you know. Interesting stuff. Usman dominates Woodley. Factors going into it. Woodley was on Wild 'N Out. He was on Family Feud. He was on the Logan Paul podcast. He was on a bunch of other stuff. He's rapping, even though he can't rap for shit. Someone needs to tell him that. Someone really needs to tell him that and have a sit down with him. Listen, you're shit at rapping. Please stop. Someone needs to tell him that. I think he made a single called Beat Your Ass. And I think his next single is going to be Beat My Ass. So, you know. I beat your ass. I beat your ass. You beat my ass. That should be his next song. The sequel. You beat my ass. Great stuff. Like and subscribe. Dominant performance from Usman. The welterweight division's fun. Right now. You've got a list of contenders. And now, the stalemate of Wonderboy and Darren Till, they can fight for a title again. Wonderboy was never going to get another title shot. You know, if Woodley stayed champion, Wonderboy would have to go above and beyond to get a title shot. Now he can get one again. Create some fluidness in the division. Now Ben Askren can fight for the title. Create some fluidness. Now Darren Till can go back and fight for the title if he wins another 2 in a row. Or if he wins a dominant victory. But no, he needs to win 2 in a row. I think Ben Askren's flying out to London for the fight. So if Ben Askren wins, if Darren Till wins, Ben Askren's going to be there for sure. So that'll be the next fight. And they have trash-talked each other beyond belief. So that'd be great. We're hoping that this is the way the welterweight division grows. Regardless of if you're a fan of whoever. If you're a fan of the UFC, this is how you want things to go. Fingers crossed, everyone. You want Woodley to sit out. He's not going to get a rematch because why would he? He got dominated start to finish. He didn't win a minute of the fight. He didn't win a second of that fight at all. Woodley's going to sit out. He's probably going to complain and want a title rematch, but he's not going to get one, most likely. Here's what you do. You maybe do Woodley versus Ponzinibbio or RDA, or you do RDA and Ponzinibbio together. Here's what you're hoping for, though. Darren Till beats Jorge Masvidal. That's what you're praying on. Because Darren Till is more interesting than Jorge in terms of like fanship, you know, like way more followers, way more interest behind his fights. Hopefully Darren beats Jorge Masvidal. Hopefully Usman and Colby get to fight next. Hopefully Ben Askren gets let off the rematch of Lawler, and I'll do a video on that, don't you worry. Because I don't want to see that rematch again. In my opinion, if Lawler wasn't out, which I thought he was, then he would have been out after a while anyway. Because, you know, there's just another few seconds of holding that choke and you're asleep. It doesn't matter if you weren't out at the time, you know. So, interesting stuff at welterweight, guys. Stay tuned. Like and subscribe. All that good shit. Thanks for watching the stream as well. It was sick. The stream was so good. I had like 300 viewers. I almost came everywhere.